the Hunting and Fishing Academy. What is it all about?
Our mission is to try to teach and educate new hunters. I'm sure like you guys, I learned from my dad, he learned from his dad. Well, if you didn't have that passed down,
right,
it's a really hard place to try to start. And so we try to make it as easy as possible for people to come in and learn, and then make it practical for them to go out and actually start doing this stuff in the field. Our family experiences, we've got 9 different youth hunts across the state that's coming up here pretty soon. On the virtual front, we've got a lot of deer and waterfowl specific classes coming up. A deer aging and scoring virtual class.
That's a good skill for a seasoned hunter. I mean, I can look at the teeth and go, well, maybe, but
yeah,
taking a class would be great.
Yeah. We've got some beginner waterfowl classes, virtual as well as in person, that'll teach you all about different types of decoys, how to pick out a pair of waders, how to know where to go, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Fishing events. We've taught bass fishing workshops, crappie, trout, fly fishing, all that kind of stuff. We'll do mostly in the spring and the summer, in addition to some of our turkey hunts. Pretty much you name it. If you can hunt it or fish for it in Tennessee, we've got something out there like wild game cooking. We have some classes on that. You don't have to have a thing. I mean, we provide all the equipment. You come out to the events, we'll feed you. We take care of everything. So it's a great time to get out and learn something new. But
right,
we try to make it as easy as possible. So whether you're a parent that's got young kids, or you're an adult that wants to learn how to hunt, or even if you just are curious and want to check out a virtual class, we've got something for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We got a great show lined up for you today,
yes,
Don.
all about the outdoors, hunting, fishing, just, hey, learning about it, too.
Yeah, it's all about getting out there and learning how to do it.
Exactly.
Experiencing what Tennessee has to offer. We have Mr. Jeb Beasley with us today. Jeb, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited to jump into this conversation.
Yeah, me too. Me too. How about a little radio station action first?
I think that'd be good.
Okay. We'll give a shout out to Manchester, Thunder Radio, WSMR, 1320, 6:30 on Sunday mornings. Getting ready for church. Hey, tune us in. Manchester, 1320, Thunder Radio.
There you go. Yeah, we appreciate our radio partners. We got quite a few of them now, and it's great to be out there on the radio.
Growing all the time, so yeah.
It's deer season. If you don't know that, where you been? It's deer season. It's football season. It's fall. Right now, I just wanted to update everybody. Muzzleloader season opens this weekend, and we're going to be hot and heavy in the muzzleloader and gun after that. So check your guide. Make sure you know what seasons it is, how many you can take, what your bag limit looks like.
Right.
Get out there and have fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited for getting out there during the muzzleloader season and gun season, so we'll see what happens.
Tennessee's a great place to wear orange.
Yeah,
it really
all
is.
year long.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump in. Jeb Beasley with the Tennessee Wildlife Federation, organizing the Hunting and Fishing Academy now.
Yeah.
And so anyway, we just want to jump in and learn a little bit about you and dive into what you have to offer for us today.
Absolutely.
So tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I grew up just up the road near Old Hickory Lake in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Grew up hunting and fishing, something my family's always done. And I went to school in UT in Knoxville a few years ago. And
Big arm.
Yes, sir. So graduated, and somehow found my way into a position with the Wildlife Federation, working for our Hunting and Fishing Academy. So it's kind of how I got to where I'm at. But yeah, just grew up deer hunting mostly, a little bit of waterfowl and some other things mixed in. So it's great to be, in a position where I get to kind of share that experience with new folks as well.
Awesome. How's your season going so far? Have you been out chasing any animals?
Yeah. So I've been bow hunting a couple times. I'm a new bow hunter this year, so I always grew up hunting with a muzzleloader and doing some rifle hunting as well. But I thought I'd get into doing a little bow hunting this year, so I bought
start a little early that way,
Yeah, get a little early start. So, but it's been good. It's good. I figured, we teach skills and do all that kind of stuff with the work we do. So I was like, it's time for me to learn something new. So bought a bow earlier in the year and have gotten to get out a couple of times and go. So I've got I tagged a doe earlier earlier in the season, and then this past weekend or so, I shot my first buck with a bow as well. So it's been a learning experience. It's definitely a lot different than some of the hunting I'm used to growing up with. A lot more leaves on the trees this time of year. So but it's been good.
A little more concealment, but you got to skirt that arrow through the
it can get messy, as I've learned pretty quick. So, but it's been good. It's been a great learning experience, and we've got a ton of volunteers and folks on staff that's kind of helped coach me up a little bit. So it's been good.
Good.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to get you to share some of your pointers with me.
Yeah, well, we'll have to get together on that.
Yeah. Well, so you've touched on it a little bit, but you're with the Tennessee Wildlife Federation Hunting and Fishing Academy. What is your role there? What are you doing mainly now? You've kind of bumped up in the ranks, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So I just hit my 4 years with the Federation earlier in August. When I started fresh out of school, I started as the East Tennessee field rep. So I still live in Knoxville, but now I'm currently serving as the Hunting and Fishing Academy program manager. So went from kind of a regional focus in East Tennessee to helping coordinate all the different events that we've got across the state, working with our other field reps and things like that. So that's still a pretty new position for me. So stepped up and kind of learning a little bit more about some of the different things we do across the state. But yeah, it's been good.
Cool. Awesome. And for folks that don't know, tell them who and what the Tennessee Wildlife Federation does and who they are.
Absolutely. So the Wildlife Federation is one of the state's largest and oldest conservation nonprofits. So we do a lot of different things outside of the one program that I work with, whether that be conservation policy work with our elected officials, even at the local, state, and federal level. We help pass legislation that benefits wildlife, that benefits our natural resources, and the folks like us that like to utilize and benefit from those natural resources. And then, we've got the programmatic side of things as well, where we're doing lots of grassroots, boots on the ground work, just trying to get more people involved in hunting, fishing, the shooting sports. Many people with deer season right here are starting to think about the Hunters for the Hungry program. We've had that program. We just had our 25th anniversary last year. It was our biggest year ever. Had over 3,000 deer donated to that program. So we're doing a lot of different things on the landscape. Scholastic Clay Target program is growing, teaching kids all across the state how to trap shoot, skeet, sporting clays, all that good stuff. And then the Hunting and Fishing Academy is where I spend most of my time. So we do a lot of different stuff. We've been around since 1946, partner with the agency on a lot of different things. But yeah, so that's a little bit more about the Federation.
Yeah, it's I always see you guys. You're always around. Mike Butler, executive director, CEO.
Yeah. So he's our big boss, our chief executive officer. Yes, sir.
Yeah. He comes to commission meetings and
and it was formerly known as the Tennessee Conservation League.
That's right.
TCL, lovingly referred to, for a lot of years.
Okay.
Started back in 46. And then I think the name change happened maybe around, 2000-ish or a little bit
somewhere around in there. I'd have to go back and give you an exact number later. But it was sometime right there around the early 2000s, late 90s, I believe.
Yeah, and from a historical perspective, I think our agency was kind of the brainchild of a lot of the folks that were really involved in Conservation League or TWF, back then. So thanks to you guys that we have jobs today.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, let's jump in. The Tennessee, the Hunting and Fishing Academy. What is it all about? Why are we partnered on that?
Yeah, so the Hunting and Fishing Academy it's honestly one of our newer programs at the Federation. Started not all that long ago. It was sometime around 2015 or 16 that we started a youth hunting and fishing program, similar to a lot of other youth hunting programs you see across the country. But it's really evolved into being a much more holistic type of educational offering, right? So in 2019, we rebranded as the Hunting and Fishing Academy. We worked very closely with the state agency and our Wildlife Commission to help secure funding to increase our capacity. That's how we were able to hire some new field reps. That's when I came in 2019. And since then, the program's grown from being a youth hunting and fishing program to really a full-fledged educational program that we have something for everybody.
Right.
So we still have our youth hunting and fishing events, but we also have virtual classes, and then we also just introduced last year a full slate of workshop-style events for adults who are wanting to learn how to hunt and fish as well.
That's cool to have.
How have you seen the demand for adults, Jeb?
It's grown drastically, especially through COVID, when people didn't have anything to do but go outside.
Right.
We had a lot of folks reach out and say, hey, do you guys offer anything for adults that want to learn how to hunt? And at the time, we didn't have a tangible in-person type structured event for them to come to. And so after, a couple years of thinking about that and really thinking about what's the next step for this program, we really started to put a lot of focus on providing something for, the adult audience of Tennessee to come out and learn. So it's been growing. This is our second year having a full offering, full schedule for adults to come out and learn. And we've covered everything from fly fishing to deer hunting, archery hunting specific, turkey hunting, waterfowl. And then we also teach just some very basic classes as well. Like, hey, we're getting started in hunting. Here's what you need to know. And we'll walk them through the process. Hunter's education, how to get your license, finding public land, all of that kind of stuff. So we've really grown a lot. Our adult audience is definitely booming right now. We're trying to bring in as many people as we can, and it's a really good feeling to say, we've got something for everybody now to come and learn how to do all the hunting and fishing Tennessee has to offer.
And that's great, especially for adults who didn't grow up with a dad or an uncle or somebody in the family who could kind of teach them the ropes as they were growing. A lot of kids have that advantage growing up, but as an adult, getting out of college and getting your career going, starting your family, and all of a sudden you might have a little extra time and say, hey, I've always wanted to pursue that, and now there's a way you can do it.
Absolutely,
step by step.
Yeah, that's kind of where this whole idea came from. Is our mission is to try to teach and educate new hunters. So most of the people that are coming through our program, whether it be kids and their parents or adults, they're pretty new to this stuff. They're very green. They don't know, the regulations. They don't know where to go. And so we look at our program as a way to kind of fill that gap of that generational transfer of knowledge. Like, I'm sure like you guys, I learned from my dad. He learned from his dad. Well, if you didn't have that passed down, it's a really hard place to try to start. And so we try to make it as easy as possible for people to come in and learn, and then make it practical for them to go out and actually start doing this stuff in the field.
Have you seen that? Is it a lot of Tennesseans, or is it some new people to Tennessee? Do you have those numbers?
Yeah, it's interesting. We talk about that a lot, specifically among our adult audience. About a third of them have been in Tennessee for 5 years or less. So, we always hear people talking about how big Nashville's growing. Well, East Tennessee's booming. There's all these different pockets across the state where there's just new people coming in. And so for us, that provides a really unique advantage for folks that are, buying property, or they're experiencing, vast pieces of public land for the first time. And they're wanting to learn how to utilize that. And so we can kind of step in and coach them through, like, well, hey, here's what this looks like. Here's how you can start going out deer hunting if that's something that you're interested in. So most of them are still state residents, but we do have a very growing segment of our audience that is very new to Tennessee.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool to hear. I'm glad y'all are out there. I think it's great for adults that have never done it before, but now have the thought. I think that'd be fun to try, or I'd like to put some meat on the table for the family, and maybe not shop at the grocery store. And, learn how to do that, and
it can be intimidating too, especially on the hunting side, because, as Jeb said, there's just so many things to consider. The hunter education part, and the if you've never been around firearms of any kind before too, that's intimidating just by itself. And then, but it sounds like you guys have a good approach to making it very approachable.
Yeah, we like to think so. I think that our partnership with the agency goes a long way in helping us build a lot of those relationships with volunteers and different folks that are wanting to get involved. But our staff is. I've learned so much about hunting and fishing just by being around our staff. I came in as a college grad fresh out of school, and I was like, I know about hunting and fishing, and I started meeting all these other folks in the office. I was like, I don't really know as much as I thought I did. So just the wealth of knowledge that's on our team. I mean, it's such a great resource, and just being able to be an accessible piece to people's learning process has been such a blessing for us, and our staff and our volunteers both. We try to be accessible. We try to walk people through things, one-on-one if that's what they need.
Yeah.
We really try to make it as personal of an experience as possible, so that if they're out in the field or if they just have questions, hey, they can pick up the phone. They can call me. They can call Chris Hearn in West Tennessee, Taylor Fox in Middle, or our new field rep, Will Osborne in East Tennessee, and they can just get a hold of us and ask questions.
Yeah.
So that's been the big thing for us, is just trying to, be accessible to folks and help them along the way.
And that's so important from our agency standpoint too, because our funding comes from license sales. So if we don't have folks coming in to fill those spots where folks are retiring or just getting out of the hunting, they're aging out of the process, and then all of a sudden we look around and say, wow, there's not as many people buying licenses anymore. Mm-hmm. That's what the R3 effort, agency-wise and with you guys is all about.
Yeah, and that's one of the stats you hear people talk about a lot in this sphere is for every 10 hunters that we have today, there's only about 7 that's growing up to replace them. So when you extrapolate that through time and you think about the role that hunters have on funding conservation, that it poses some pretty big risks there. So that's part of what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to bring in new folks, teach them how to do these things, and in hopes that they continue to be a licensed buyer and go out and support all the work that the agency does, that the Federation does, and is contributing to conservation in that way.
I know we've got some listeners thinking, okay, I need to sign up for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Where do we go, Jeb? What's the...
Yeah, so there's a couple different places. One of the easiest things to do is to go to the Federation's website. You can go to tnwf.org, and you can learn all about the different programs that the Federation has. But if you go to the Hunting and Fishing Academy page, you can see a full schedule. Our calendar function on the website is usually pretty up to date. Mm-hmm. So if there's something in your area coming up here soon, again, you can click on the link on our website to learn more. But you can also go to Go Outdoors Tennessee, the same place where you buy your license, apply for quota hunts. Go to the event page, and all of our events are on the Go Outdoors Tennessee system as well. So if you want to check out a virtual class or an in-person event, you can go to any of those locations and find out more about what we've got coming up.
Okay, good deal.
Try to make it as easy as possible. One-stop shop there. And I was browsing your website the other day and had the nice calendar there. It's easy on your site as well to find what's going on and get signed up. And there's also links there about becoming a volunteer. Are you looking for volunteers to help out with these classes?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are always looking for volunteers. Like I said, we've got an incredible staff that helps set up all these events and teaches, but there's only so many of us, right? And so when we're talking about 30, 40 different workshops a year, it's really hard for our staff to be at each and every one of those and to coordinate things. We're at most of them, but our volunteers are the ones that really are the force multiplier that gets out and helps us put more of these events on the landscape. So our volunteers are some of our best teachers. We need more people that are knowledgeable, that want to share their passion for the outdoors with kids, but also just with anybody that's interested in learning more about this kind of stuff. So the link on our website, again, to fill out an interest link, become a volunteer. Mm-hmm. We are always in the market for new folks that want to support us and work alongside us. So,
well, what kind of events do you have coming up in the near future? If folks are listening to this show and think, well, I want to join one of those classes or get out there. Are there deer hunting classes coming up? I mean, turkey season will be rolling around in the spring. What are y'all doing right now?
Yeah, so right now, as we record this, we're coming up on the youth weekend for deer season. So our family experiences, we've got 9 different youth hunts across the state that's coming up here pretty soon. But on the backside of that, on the virtual front, we've got a lot of deer and waterfowl specific classes coming up. Okay. We try to keep things pretty seasonal. So if we're coming up on a new season, we start unloading a lot of different class topics about that topic. So we've got a lot of stuff coming up. Deer season, again, it's in full swing. So we've got a deer aging and scoring virtual class. So if you're interested in learning about how to age deer on the hoof, or if you harvest a deer and you want to know, hey, how old is this deer? We got a class that teaches you some couple different methods to look at that and determine how old that deer is and different things. Just another skill to have.
That's a good skill for a seasoned hunter. Even
absolutely.
I've been hunting for a long time, but I don't know how to. I mean, I can look at the teeth and go, well, maybe, but
Yeah.
taking a class would be great.
Yeah, and so we got one of those coming up, and then obviously, later on in the month of November, duck season opens here in Tennessee. So we've got some beginner waterfowl classes, virtual as well as in person. We've got some workshops coming up that'll teach you all about, hey, this is some different types of decoys, or this is the gear you might need, how to pick out a pair of waders, how to know where to go, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We walk you through that, and again, try to make it as easy as possible. But going into the spring, we'll start doing a lot more fishing events as well. So we do some species-specific workshops. We've taught bass fishing workshops, crappie, trout, fly fishing, all that kind of stuff. We'll do mostly in the spring and the summer, in addition to some of our turkey hunts as well. So pretty much you name it. If you can hunt it or fish for it in Tennessee, we've got something out there, or at least we've worked on something, to provide a resource for folks that are interested in that.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but fishing has to be the easiest, I would think. I mean,
It is. Yeah, it's one of the best ways to get somebody brand new involved, whether they got kids or not. It's just, there's not as many barriers to entry. Tennessee's full of water. We got rivers and lakes everywhere. So pretty much anywhere that you can find public access to water, you've got access to fishing. And so our fishing classes are always very popular. The ones that we do virtually, we try to break them out by species, right? So we'll do bass fishing classes, and you'll get all your people that are interested in bass fishing. Well, we'll do trout and even catfish and all that kind of stuff. But even for somebody that's brand new, we have a fishing basics class where it's like if you've never even touched a fishing pole before, we walk you through like, hey, these are the different types of rods and reels and baits and how to cast and all that kind of stuff. We really do have something for everybody, whether you're brand new or whether you've been doing this for a little while and, hey, maybe you just want to learn about a different species or something like that. We offer that as well.
Good.
Yeah, that's very cool. All right. Do you need experience? I think that's been answered. I mean, come as you are, right?
As you are, yeah. We really try to cater a lot of these experiences and a lot of these classes to people that are pretty new. Like we've talked about, the greener the better in our book, just because we can help you build from scratch. Now, if you've been hunting a little bit and you've been fishing before, that's not a problem. You don't need to have, an overwhelming amount of experience to come participate. But just we can meet you where you're at. At the end of the day, if you are brand new or if you're just trying to learn a new skill or you're really trying to hone in on something niche specific, odds are we've got something for you. So no experience needed at all. I mean, this program is built for new hunters and anglers. And if you are an experienced hunter and angler, we definitely have something for you to learn. But hey, we probably need your help teaching some of these new people as well. So might want to look at volunteering if that describes you.
Being around the Hunter Ed volunteers for a lot of years, there's a passion there among those folks that is just so hard to describe. They're sold out for it, and they're always looking for opportunities. So I'm sure a lot of your folks that are volunteers to help out are probably from the Hunter Ed ranks at some point or another.
We do have several. We call our trained volunteers the volunteers that come through our training program and really take that next step to be involved regularly. We call those volunteers our hunt masters. So a lot of our hunt masters are previous Hunter Ed instructors that taught Hunter Ed classes for years. And then they use this as a way to kind of get out and help those folks that they were teaching in Hunter Ed class get out and actually do this stuff in the field. So a lot of them are. That's by no means a requirement.
Right.
Anybody that's interested in helping, you're more than welcome to come out. And, you might say, well, I don't know much about deer hunting, but I like fishing. I know about that. Well, come help us teach some fishing classes. Come help us with a workshop. So whatever your experience level, well, there's somewhere for you to fit in with the program. But, yeah, it's been great.
Good.
I haven't seen this, but is there boating classes? Do you dip into the boating?
A little bit, yeah. So we actually every summer we'll partner with some of the boating officers with TWRA, and we'll teach an intro to boating virtual class. So we have done a little bit of that. Chris Hearn, our West Tennessee reps, taught that class for the past couple of years, and normally we try to time that up with the heavy boating season. So come June, late May, we'll usually schedule that class. So, but yeah, we have dipped into that a little bit.
I mean, there's a lot involved with even just launching and loading a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Things to learn.
Absolutely,
What you
yeah.
need, as far as safety goes. So
Yeah, and we've taught kayak classes, like how to pick out the right kayak, and especially if you're wanting it for fishing purposes, like what to look for.
Right.
So we kind of we try to keep everything within the realm of hunting and fishing, but there's lots of little niche specific things like that too that we teach. So like wild game cooking, we have some classes on that, and how to cook the deer you harvested or anything like that. So we try to keep it around that same hunting and fishing skill set. But we do get out a little bit sometimes, and we'll teach some different things.
yeah, branch out just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, through your experience, I think you said 4 years now or something like that. What stood out? Anything stood out in your mind, or a story of happened to the class, or just you're like made a huge impact on you, or maybe to another person?
Yeah.
Anything stand out?
Yeah, so I'll tell one story, and I think it summarizes the work that we do for the most part. So this past spring, we were doing a turkey hunt, and we had a mom and her son come out to this turkey hunt, and we'll just call the kid Michael. So Michael came out to this turkey hunt, and he told me the night before. I was actually going to guide him. I was going to sit with him, which is kind of a rare thing for me nowadays, but I still like to get out and sit with the kids in the blind. And so Michael was telling me, he's like, I've never done this before. I'm so excited. And I was like, that's good, Michael. We're going to go out, and hopefully we'll get you a turkey tomorrow, and it'll be good. So next morning rolls around, we get up, and we're getting ready to walk out to the blind, and Michael's, man, I'm excited. I've never done this before. And I was like, okay, well, that's good. I'm glad you're excited. Let's go. So we take off walking towards the blind, and I'd turn around, checking on him and his mom every so often, like, y'all good? Oh yeah, we're good. We're walking, and just every few minutes, Mike would come up. Man, I've never done this before. I've never walked in the woods in the dark before. And he had a new pair of boots.
Got up before sun.
I know. So he had a new pair of boots that was giving him blisters, and he was, man, I've never had new boots before. And so you just don't think about these types of things. Like we just assume that a lot of people have these types of experiences. But we eventually got to the blind, and Michael sat down, and he looked at me and said, I'm excited. I've never done this before. And we're like, I know, Michael. And we heard some turkeys gobbling that morning, and he was all fired up about it, and saw some hens. We didn't get a turkey, but man, just that experience and hearing people be that excited about doing something they've never done before, that goes so far with me and all of our volunteers. That's why we do it. We want to provide an experience. It's all about teaching people, but at the end of the day, we want people to go away saying, man, I've never done that before, but I want to go do that again.
Yeah.
That's the end goal for us. If I can get somebody that goes from, man, I've never done this before, to I do this all the time, that's our end goal. That's what we're trying to do. So I think that summarizes it. Just the number of people that have never done this type of stuff but have an interest in it. I don't know how people initially decide, hey, I want to learn how to hunt. I was raised in that kind of environment. But for somebody that's brand new, man, it's just so fun to watch them go from that just completely green experience, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and then come out after a weekend of camping and hunting, and they're like, man, I got to do this again.
Right.
That's what we're trying to get to.
There's no doubt y'all have made an impact, and you made an impact on that kid that day, and that mom even. I'm sure that mom's maybe taking her kid hunting now, and that's very cool. And I think it's awesome that you're setting them up with the gear too. I mean, it sounds like new boots and
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to have a thing. I mean, we provide all the equipment. You come out to the events, we'll feed you. We take care of everything. So it's a great time to get out and learn something new. But we try to make it as easy as possible. So whether you're a parent that's got young kids, or you're an adult that wants to learn how to hunt, or even if you just are curious and want to check out a virtual class, we've got something for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I think this a lot of times will help bridge that gap between just going one time on a youth hunt and thinking, man, that was cool, but what do I do now? You guys are helping to bridge that gap and keep them in the game.
Absolutely. If we can get the parents, we can keep the kids.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's true. They need transportation, right? Got to get them there.
Yep.
Well, this has been fun. Jeb, thank you. Congratulations on your new role there.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
This was fun. I appreciate y'all having me out.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll have to do it again or maybe just go hunting together or something.
Yeah, hey, we need to.
Teach me a few things. Well, this is Tennessee WildCast. Don, thanks.
You bet.
Jeb, thanks again.
Absolutely.
Keep coming back. Keep watching. Keep listening. Follow us, like us, share us, and just get out there and enjoy Tennessee's outdoors. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.